Welcome to the Daily Coffee Pro by Map It Forward, friends, and thanks to our presenting sponsor, ours and your favorite grinder company, Baratza. Check the show notes for links to Baratza's website today. Today on the podcast, we're talking about a shift in staffing and cafe culture in cafes, obviously in cafes. So, the pandemic and a lot of the shifting that has happened over the last 16 to 18 months is proving to have changed the environment in the cafe from the staffing perspective. It wasn't just the pandemic and what happened during the pandemic from the illnesses perspective. That definitely contributed to it. People started to assess, what is the value of my job given what I'm being paid? Is it worth it for me to be putting myself at risk in what was considered a frontline job for a minimum wage return? And a lot of people decided it wasn't. And hence we're having staffing shortages. But additional to that, a lot of the issues that came from the pandemic and continue to come from this very tumultuous time that the world is experiencing through a lot of the race riots and a lot of the consequence of some of the cancel culture that happened. People are reassessing, what do they need to get out of their jobs? What do they want out of a company that they work with? And this is creating a new shift in culture and staffing in the cafe environment. As we see cafes struggle to find employees around the world, we are starting to see a lot of businesses close down. And the ones that are remaining open have a new value add that is required from them by their potential workforce. You're seeing people as they come into the workforce want more from you. Well, not more, but want different from you as an employer. They are looking to be happier at work. They are looking to receive payment in life currencies as much as an increase in financial compensation for their time. The value exchange that's required is much higher. They're also, additional to that value exchange, requiring a difference in culture than what was previously acceptable in cafes. That includes things like accountability. They want you as an employer to be more accountable for your word and for your actions. They require you to mean what you say and say what you mean. And if you ask me, none of this is a bad thing. I don't use that word very often. I just can't think of a different way to phrase it. People think that this is going to stifle the workplace. I'm hearing that a lot. Employees want too much. No, they don't. Employees want what they should have always had. Now, having said that, employees wanting these kinds of things is not unreasonable. But it's also time for you to empower employees to execute on the job that they commit to execute. So previously, what we had was a lot of employees would say that they were capable of doing a specific job. They were capable of making sure they turned up to work on time and executing on sales and moving a particular pace, etc., not showing up to work stoned, not showing up to work high on other drugs, not drinking while on the job, all that kind of stuff, being polite, etc. Now, because employees weren't getting compensated fairly a lot of the time, they would promise a lot and then become fed up when they weren't working in a functional workplace. Now employees are showing up saying, I demand and require a fair, safe workplace, which is awesome. We should have always had that, and we haven't. But now the other side of that is also employers should expect and should know how to require staff to show up and fulfill their end of the bargain. So the value exchange should be fairer. The value exchange should be something that fulfills everybody. If you are choosing to hire an employee and they are choosing to be a part of your workplace, that's a decision you've both made together, not in any kind of duress. And what should come out of that is the hope and the intention to conspire to each other's success. Once you are both conspiring to each other's success, and you whether you are the employer or the employee, but particularly you as an employer, have chosen to be a part of something where you are all conspiring to each other's success, as we move through what I think are about to become very, very difficult times, you will be hopefully amongst the group of businesses that will survive this. I hope that that's all of us, but we don't know what's coming. But if we are working with people who are all conspiring to the same goal of conspiring to each other's success for mutually beneficial reward, we're on to a good thing. Peace, love, and peanut butter, friends. Have an amazing rest of your day.